If you have too many clients, too many patients, and too much money, then this message is not for you. Find out how to increase your business by 30% over the next 6 months by calling 281-892-2023. That number is 281-892-2023. Advertising doesn't cost you money, it makes you money. Find out how by calling 281-892-2023. Call now. 281-892-2023.
Hey everybody, this is your girl Dawn Paul, aka the Dr. Dawn, your certified life coach, and my prescription is my words, as I always say. Make sure you check me out every Friday, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time on Synergy Radio Network. I give it to you with no judgment, just realness when it comes to life and love. So, catch me on Synergy Radio Network, where it all comes together.
This is Chauncey Glover from ABC 13. Be sure to stay connected in your house, in your office, or even in your car. Synergy Radio Network, where it all comes together.
Download our free mobile app for Apple or Android devices. Go to your Apple Store or Google Play Store and search Synergy Radio Network. Stay connected.
Welcome to the No Judgment, Just Realness Zone with Dawn Paul, aka the Dr. Dawn, your certified life coach. And now here's Dr. Dawn.
Hi, everybody. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. You know who this is. This is your girl, Dawn Paul, a.k.a. the Dr. Dawn, your certified life coaches. And as I always say, my prescription is my word. You can't get no better medicine than that. I know y'all been waiting on this medicine all week, especially when we're talking love and relationships. We got to get right into it. But look, if you want to call in and get in on the conversation, 832-230-5592. As always, Dr. Dawn says she has a no judgment, just realness zone. We'll never judge you, but we always keep it real, and I expect nothing less from you, audience. Shout out to those listening on 1480 AM on SynergyRadioNetwork.com. At your job in the bathroom, told your boss you had to step out for a minute. I know you're listening to Dr. Dawn, and I love that. Thank you. God bless you. I love you. But Good Love Lounge Convo, we are talking dating after divorce. Dating as a widower. Big Sarge, who is a radio personality, he'll be here later. We have people who are in a relationship, people who are single, just talking relationships from different perspectives. It's going to be good. And, of course, at the end of the show, Dr. Dawn will be giving you her Dr. Dawn Daily Dose, giving you some real talk and positivity to go into the weekend, and then also answering love and life questions. I got a good one today from a sister who is friends with a married man, and he wants to be more than just friends. So that's going to be good, y'all. Don't miss it. I'm not going to say the name. The person wanted to remain anonymous, and, you know, those are the juiciest questions. But without further ado, I got to just introduce my guest so we can get into the Love Lounge conversation. Again, 832-230-5592. And let me introduce, let me start on this side, and then I'll work my way down. Can I do that? Of course I can. We can do what we want. I can do what I want to do. It's my show. Why am I asking? No. First, we have Tracy L. James, media personality. Unleash your greatness, and you'll see her ball her fists up when she tells you, right?
Gotta do it.
Yes.
You gotta do it.
Yes, and she is divorced. You're talking dating after divorce.
That's
right?
correct.
Yeah.
That's
Real talk. Carissa Littlejohn of She Flies Solo.
Good morning, Dawn.
How are you?
I'm wonderful.
And she's a single sister who's very tall, single sister.
I know, I wore my heels today.
Yes.
Didn't realize we was
Oh, honey. And we all, look, she's going to be talking about the single sister dating.
Yes.
She was at my old radio house. Now you're at the new house. Yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah. We're moving on up like the Jeffersons. God is good. And then Cobb Alexander, who is in a relationship.
Yes.
Yes. What are you laughing? Is it hey?
I mean, yeah. It is what it is.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Hey.
It's already.
It is what it is, honey. Yeah. But he is going to be talking he is in a relationship. So we're going to be talking to this brother, and it's just going to be good. And later we have Big Sarge, who is going to be coming in and talking about his experience. Well, come on, Big Sarge, hurry up. I'm introducing everybody. Y'all know how we do. This is like a home. He is going to be talking to us as a widower. His wife died a few months ago. This way, over here. Right here? Are we good?
In order to do it, we need to do a break, but he can go ahead for right now.
Okay. How are you, Big Sarge?
Hey!
Okay.
What's going on, y'all? How y'all
Good.
doing? I
How are you?
apologize for my tardiness. I'm normally prompt and on time, but this morning I had a mental health issue, honestly. So that's why I'm late.
Okay. Well, thank you. Mental health was last week's show, but
yes,
but it's still Mental Health Awareness Month.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Exactly.
But no, we love Big Sarge. You know, Dr. Dunn, we like to make it like a home. Just come on in and we're good. But your friend told the teacher you were gonna be tardy, so it was okay.
Exactly.
You get a pass.
Exactly. All I need to know is does he have the homework? Because I need to copy off of that.
Oh well, yes, you pass. All of y'all pass. But it is gonna be a good show. He's gonna be talking about his experiences as a widower, dating as a widower. So let's get right to it. I got some good people in the place, I have to say. But Tracy, let me ask you first, and I want to go around quickly. What are your experiences in the relationship department right now as a divorcee?
It's been a little quiet.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly took a little bit of a break after the divorce. I realized that when I got the call from my attorney that the divorce was final, and I didn't feel happy.
Okay.
I didn't feel joy. I didn't feel, unweighted, that something was wrong. So I went into counseling and ultimately realized that there was a lot of baggage I needed to unpack, not only from the divorce and the marriage, but also from my dating life, just my entire dating relationships. And after I unpacked that, I realized that Tracy needed to take some time to get to know Tracy and to heal and to get myself in a space where I was ready to allow someone to love me, because it was like the relationships I pushed away were actually good guys who really wanted to love me. But the reality was I wasn't ready. So now as a divorcee, it's that thing of, now, am I ready to go back into the deep end?
Right.
And that's the question I'm asking myself now that I know who Tracy is and I know she's worthy of being loved. Now it's having the courage to step back into the deep end of the pool.
Okay. Unleash your greatness, Tracy.
Yes.
You got it. Carissa, where are you? Single sister. And Carissa's always very transparent.
I am.
Yeah. Where are you as a single sister right now in the dating world?
Where am I? I am all over the place in the dating world.
Okay.
But I recently got back on the dating scene more heavily.
Okay.
So I'm trying to put myself out there. Last year, I really took some time off. I was working on my business.
Okay.
So I didn't date much over the last year. But I'm back on now. It's a challenge. The dating scene is complicated. Finding people that are compatible can be complicated, but it's been fun, actually.
Okay.
Just getting out.
Okay.
Mingling.
Cobb, it is what it is. I asked him, you missed it, Big Sarge. We said, you're in a relationship. I introduced him. He said, it is what it is. So where are you in dating? Is it exclusive or?
Yeah, I mean.
Okay.
Because I know.
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
it's definitely exclusive.
Okay.
I guess it's still kind of fresh. It's like we maybe 2.5 years.
Oh wow.
So it's still fresh.
Okay.
I'm still shaking off some bad habits.
Okay.
We just had two twins. Twins. and yeah. So I mean, it's been some growing pains. You know what I mean? We passed the honeymoon stage.
Yeah.
So and I mean my past is kind of haunting me right now.
Okay. I think that happens a lot with people, right?
I mean, I was one of those people who was like, I'm not going to have a relationship. I'm going to be single, and that's what I'm going to do. Like, I'm not even going to entertain. So, I had a good time.
Yeah.
From like maybe 18 to about 25. And so now it's kind of like, oh, okay, like that good time kind of haunts me now that I'm in a relationship and me being in the public a little bit.
Okay.
Things kind of pop up.
And twins changing. Oh, you want to date? When Maury brings you the paternity results, so but no, you can't, so we'll talk about that, dating with children, being in a relationship with children. Some people stay because of the children. Sarge, you're a widower.
Yes.
So where are you as far as dating?
Listen.
No, go ahead.
How do they say it? Look, I'm just waiting on Jesus to bring me my one.
I love it. Right?
No, but it's different.
Okay.
Because for 10 years I was used to being with one person. She knew all my good habits, bad habits, my things that I like, things that I did not like.
Yeah.
And now, after 10 years trying to get back on the dating scene, it's almost the equivalent to, not playing basketball for 10 years, then running out and don't think that you're going to pull your hamstring. Shout out
yeah.
to Chris Paul. But, but yeah, so it's hard because I've also developed this place where I just want my own space.
Okay.
And the hard part about wanting my own space is letting somebody back into that space. And so do I want to be around people, or do I want to be around another female? Yes. But then sometimes it's just like, I want to be by myself, and you know, I'm learning now, getting back into the dating scene, that sometimes that's not always a good thing. Some women don't understand you. What do you mean you want your own space right now? Like, I just want to be by myself.
Yeah.
Like, can't we just, you know, FaceTime or something? Maybe.
But let me ask you, and let me start with you, Tracy. When you tell people, and then, you know, Big Sarge, that you are a widower, when you tell people you are divorced, you know, what is the response in dating? And with two boys?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting because being 46, divorced with 2 children, one 13 and one 27, and I have 3 grandchildren.
Wow.
It's a different response. Number one, when they realize I'm a grandmother. Shout out to my babies, and Colleen, love you.
Yeah.
But it's a different space because now they're like, wait, hold on. So when it comes to younger men who maybe aren't done having children,
Yeah.
the idea of me having children is off the table. I'm done. So, but at the same time, I did still meet older guys that are like, you mean we can't have a baby? No, we're not. And that seems to come up once. I'm done.
Yeah.
Me and Jesus have had that conversation.
Yeah.
I'm done. But it's different because people look at me and they go, I can't believe somebody divorced you. I've actually had somebody say that to me. I can't believe a man would divorce you. And I got there and I said, am I not allowed to make the decision for myself about, you know, my relationship? And it was just a weird response to being divorced. But sometimes people think that because you are divorced, you're not looking to get married. So they think you're out ready to just kick it and have some fun. But the reality is this, even though I wasn't in a hurry to get back into a relationship, I do see myself married again.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Carissa, now I'm a single sister too. Yeah, I'm done with children too. And I don't have any. So that's right there. But anyway, God, he'll touch my womb, people. And that's another thing. Quit asking me when I'm going to have a baby. Y'all will be invited to the baby shower. And no, don't worry about that. But Carissa, as a single sister, and then Cobb, this question to you. Carissa, have you ever been made to feel like something is wrong with you because you are single? Especially when you're attractive, like, ooh, you're single? What's wrong with you?
All the time. And speaking of random stupid comments, I had a guy that said, why don't any men want you?
Oh,
wow.
And I'm like, maybe I don't want them. So yes, people do have that assumption that something is wrong.
Yeah.
And,
The Halle Berry effect.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's definitely one of those.
Yeah,
things.
but my cousin actually tried to hook me up with someone, and I didn't like him.
Yeah.
And my cousin was like, oh, well, he liked you. Everything was going good. I'm like, I didn't like him. He's like, okay, so it might not be you.
Yeah.
But yeah, people say that all the
Cobb, here you are. You and Bay have 2 children together. When you are in a relationship with somebody, it's been 2 years, 2 children. When are y'all getting married? Do you ever, do you get that question a lot?
I get it a lot. No time soon.
Okay.
It's really, for me, I always take my time with everything.
Okay.
Especially when dealing with people, because you never, people change. And me being in my 20s, I don't know who I'm gonna be when I'm 35. I don't know where I'm gonna be when I'm 35. So for me to make this commitment, and I guess it's kind of selfish, but I feel like each person together, like, you're still kind of finding yourself.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, it's not selfish.
And you should allow, even in a relationship, you should allow that other person to find themselves.
Thank you all for the comments. Good morning, Angela, Denise. Yeah, but and Sarge, this is what I want to know. As a widower in dating, do you ever feel like, or do you even want to date? Or you just want a companion? Are you looking for anything?
So here's the thing. Because I'm old.
Oh, please.
Okay, let me preface it by saying this. Well, I have to say this first. One, Cobb is very selective with his answers because, Lady B has a razor on her tongue. Second thing is that, so my wife and I had this conversation before she passed away. I told her, listen, just because you've been diagnosed with death, I still could go before you. I could be shot by being in the wrong place at the wrong time. I could have a car accident, heart attack, whatever the case may be. So we set up those things. I told her, listen, if I die, first take the insurance money, find you a little young dude that's in his about 30s or earlier, wearing skinny jeans and Jordans, and do what you need to do. Just spread my ashes in front of Texas Stadium so I can watch the Cowboys play on Sunday.
Okay.
But she told me, she's like, I don't want you to grow old alone. So you can grieve and you can mourn, but I don't want you to sit around and wait before you get back on, the bike and start riding again. Yeah. And so that was her one thing. I don't want you to grow old alone. I don't want you to be by yourself.
Right.
And with me, I heard the words. I tried to make sure that I, took heed to those words. But it's like I said, it's hard. And on the other side, a lot of women, that I talk to, as friends or this, that, and other, they say the exact same thing that I'm thinking. Women think that they have to compare themselves to my wife because she passed away. See, we didn't divorce. If we divorced, then there'd been room for reconciliation. Yeah. But she passed away. So, and because our life was so public on social media, people seeing that, women who may find me attractive look at that, and now they think that they have to come into the relationship and be Jamila. And I was like, no, be you, because Jamila's over here. Just understand that she's going to always be over here. Yeah. And even though I'm focused on you and I made you my priority, sometimes I'm going to look back over here because she, when she passed away, she took a piece of my heart as well. Oh, yeah. And so you have to give me the opportunity and the chance to cry sometimes. I may smell something that remind me of her, see something, hear a song. And so as a widower, and I hear this from widows as well, they tell, potential mates, just don't try to be who I was married to. Be you. Yeah. I like you for you, not for you trying to be like this person, because that's the easiest way to make me run away, is to try to compare yourself or try to do the things that Jamila did.
TL James, thank you for your comment, your twin. She
twin
says, be you. I like that. Dominique Leonard says, and Dominique, I cannot understand the comment, so put it up again. Something about, because he is on the outside. That's what a man would say. I need to know what you're talking about. So, but good morning, and I love the comments. So let me know what you're talking about. But I want to know, and I want to start with you, Tracy, and I want to work our way around. Can we admit that sometimes we are too hard on the opposite sex? Sometimes we find things wrong. And we can be. Because, Carissa, I want to go back to your comment. I didn't like him. Well, I've had some women say, well, he's too short. Okay, he's too tall. He's not the right complexion. Are we too hard? Or he made a mistake. Or you didn't like the way he didn't pull your chair out. And you're holding that against it. You're never going to date him again. Those things. So do we find sometimes we're too hard on the opposite sex?
I'm going to raise my hand and testify and admit, yes, I have. I honestly can admit that there was someone that I pushed away rather quickly because there were some things he said and did that reminded me of an ex. Okay. Not my ex-husband, but an ex I dated for off and on for 9 years. Okay. And there was something about him that reminded me of this guy. And I didn't give him an opportunity to be himself. Though he couldn't be exactly like this guy, but there was something about him that reminded me of this guy that had lied to me, cheated on me off and on for 9 years. Okay. So I pushed him away. And then when I look back, I go, you know what? I didn't allow him to be him. I just found the thing I didn't like, the thing that scared me, and I ran. And so I was, out real quick to cut a guy off. And that was why I was like, am I really ready to go back into the deep end of the water? And so now I don't find myself doing that as much as I used to. Okay. Because now I'll give you an opportunity to show me who you are. Okay. But once you show me who you are, if it's not in line and if it's not something that I feel is part of where I'm headed, then I'm okay with walking away. Okay. But I try not to be as hard and be like, oh, you just like my ex. Okay. Oh, you just like so-and-so. I try not to do that because it's an unfair comparison, because that's just one element of who they are.
Many of us do that. But I like you said, you cut him off, you didn't cut him. So, yeah.
No.
Tracy,
I retired the razor blade.
That's great.
I did retire the razor blade.
Oh, good. Yeah. I had one in my purse for a long time.
All right.
We've all been there.
Had or have?
Hey, I don't have it no more. need it.
It's in the
Yeah.
past.
I'm glad we got the temperature of the room. All right.
Yeah, we all heal. We've all healed. Please.
I mean,
come
but
on,
you
y'all.
can still, it might be one in my sock. So, you know what I mean? Just-
Hey, you never know. Carissa, do you find you're too hard on the opposite sex?
I really am hard on everybody. Either you're not calling enough, you're calling too much, I don't know. It's always something wrong.
Okay.
So I realized that.
So has that been a block in moving forward in relationships?
You see, I'm single, so probably so. But I'm trying to be more open. I'm like, Tracy, let's give people a chance. Let's not cut them off after the first thing they say that I don't like.
Okay.
So it's been going okay.
Okay. So we're gonna get better, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna try.
Cobb, you?
I
Because even
don't-
though you're in a relationship,
I mean,
still.
even in the past,
Yeah.
I've dated some questionable women in my life.
Yeah.
And I've always been like, yo, let's have the best 2 months of our life. And when this wave ends, it ends. Like, so, you know what I mean? It's
2 months.
like, yeah, you know, that was my thing. Like, we're going to have the greatest 2 months ever. Like, you know what I mean? And we're going to fall in lust. And
Yeah. But I mean, look, we're having real talk, people. I like the comments because, we're not alone. Thank you for your comment. Good morning, Gabrielle. T.L. James says, I'm still healing. You have a lot of people that are in that place. But, Sarge, do you see yourself being hard on the opposite sex?
Sometimes. And Tracy, in the great words of the old Negro poet, when a person shows you who they are.
Maya Angelou. Yeah.
So, I can be, and I will admit, most men won't admit this, but every man is, I'm moody. And I get in my mood sometimes, and I need to be by myself. And sometimes you have someone from the opposite sex that keeps pushing. Well, what's wrong? Well, what's wrong? It's like, right now I just don't want to talk about it, because if we talk about it, now I'm going to have to apologize later on for something I say, because my mouth is fly and sarcastic.
Yeah.
And I'm petty.
Petty party.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to say something that'll probably hurt your feelings and just look at you like, hey, look, I told you I wasn't ready to talk. But I do find myself hard on, I live by the code of WWBD. What would Beyonce do? Okay. And Beyonce never lowers her standards for anyone. Okay. And so sometimes you meet people who want to bring you down, and I'll be like, well, Beyonce don't never get into nothing. You don't never see no scandal. She ain't social media beefing with nobody. She make her money and stay out the limelight or whatever the case may be. So I'm that way too. And some women want to bring you down to their level. If they're throwing a pity party, they don't want to throw it by themselves. And I was like, I don't really want to be at this party right now. It's like, I didn't even bring my own bottle. So with that being said,
that's not what I called you over here for.
Exactly, right? I thought we was doing Hulu and chill, because old people do Hulu calls. You millennials, y'all do Netflix.
Hulu got Law and Order SVU, you know what I'm saying? Criminal Minds, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so so to answer your question, sometimes I can be. And, for all of us being, the professionals that we are, sometimes we run into people who aren't professionals. And we find ourselves still in that professional mindset, like, oh, well, when are you going to come up here? Because I'm here, and I love the altitude up here, and I don't want to drop. So when are you going to, like, you're 41, and, like, are you still climbing, or have you, stalled out? I don't know.
I think, and you touched on a point. I want to start with you, Tracy, and work our way around. And I like the comments. Facebook Live, let me know what you think. Dr. Don, this is my personal opinion. I don't do those waiting to exhale parties. Come on over. Let's have wine and light a bonfire with
box
a picture.
wine?
Yeah, box.
wine. For sure.
You always got somebody bring the box. But I don't have those waiting to exhale parties. Let's light his picture on fire and dance around it. I think
And
when
dance
you
around it. Wow,
I'm just saying it's time to. That is not helping anybody heal. And I think for singles and people in relationships, whether you are a widow or whatever, you cannot hang with those people. Even Cobb, you in a relationship, you can't hang around those brothers who are in toxic relationships, telling you your woman ain't no good. We have to be careful about that.
Oh, yeah.
Bitter divorcees who.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Trust. There were plenty of divorced women who wanted me to stay in that bitter place where I was constantly blaming my ex-husband for everything.
Yeah.
So after I was in the counseling and I realized I'm walking around being a victim, when in reality I was partly responsible for the marriage. I knew before I married him it was a mistake, but I did it anyway because I had committed. anyway, that's a whole nother ego conversation.
another thing.
But the thing is this, once I separated myself and stopped having the pity party, they had to make a decision. Either they were going to stop having the pity party, or they were going to have to stop inviting me. So they stopped inviting me. And it was okay. It hurt a little bit at first to lose a couple of people that I thought that I still care about. I still keep in touch with them and check in on them. But the thing is, they're not in my inner circle because I'm taking myself to another level. And if you're not headed in that space and professionally, it's like this. If you connect yourself to someone who has nothing to lose, they will help you lose everything you've built. And I refuse to ever do that.
Absolutely.
I work too hard to get here.
That's kind of the situation with guys. It's not really toxic relationships. It's my single friends and them like, yo, bro, we used to do so much, and it's like, well, I can't do that anymore. Like, even to the point where if you invite me out to a spot, I check the guest list, like, who coming? Okay, no, we're not even finna do that, because I don't feel like, one, I can't enjoy myself because I'm dodging Instagram the whole night. So, you know, and that's just to be respectful, because, you know, a picture can ruin everything.
But you have to be conscious. But Carissa, you being single, the Single Sisters Bitter Club. Let's go out, girl. I don't do the happy hours when we gonna sit around and 10 of us talking. Sister, it's time to heal. I can't. Dr. Don ain't gonna be able to go today. I can't, and that ain't helping. No, I mean seriously, because I'll start coaching you with the happy. They're like, Dr. Don, you bringing me down. No, I'm trying. This ain't no good, y'all. So yeah, Carissa, it helps. Does it? I mean, you can't be around.
You can't be around bitter people. I don't have time. Let's sit around. Let's talk about business. Let's move on.
Yeah, positive. Sarge, you. Those brothers helping you get over. You know, you have to be careful. About space.
Especially those.
I mean,
ones.
I didn't try to get him in a couple shaking joints. I tried.
Hey, no judgment, just real.
Pull out the razor blade, lady. So for me, it's now that. Okay, so when I was single, I never gave my married friends advice, because I was like, listen, bro, I got 3 girlfriends. So it's clear that I have commitment issues. So why are you coming to me asking about your problems with the one you have when I got 3? I don't have time.
Yeah.
And then
oh no, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So then I got married, and now coming out of the marriage, going back into the single life again. My married friends, they still want to be like, well, hey, Brian, do you want to go do this, that, and the other? And I'm saying to myself, you can't do what I can do. I don't have to answer to anyone. I don't have to answer. I only answer to one person. That's my mama. That's it. And she an hour ahead of me. So, you know, 10 o'clock my time, she already bed. So I go do whatever I want to do. But I don't have to answer to anyone. And I don't like my married friends always like, you want to go kick it? It's like, why? You got to be in the house at 10 o'clock. And so I don't want to go do that. And don't give me no advice about what I need to do. Bro, you've been married for 15 years.
That's right.
You can't there's no advice, because you don't know what it's like now to go from Papa Do's, I use this all the time, I'm going to keep using it, chicken and shrimp and French fries being $8.95 to $28.95 at Papa Do's now. You don't know how hard it is to drop almost $100 on a first date. And I'm saying to myself, that's my light bill.
Or let me tell you what I find before we have to go to the break. Married people, and I love my married friends, but don't tell me you know how it feels when you've been getting loved on for 10 years and you ain't in this single stage. Look, y'all, the struggle is real. We can sit up here, prayer. Holla, but seriously, Dr. Don, I know how you feel. You ain't been single for 10, 15 years. You've been getting loved on and sexed on for the past. You don't understand, boo. I thank you, but come on.
You know what changed the game too, right, Dr. Don?
What? Tell me.
Social media and online dating.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes. And we're going to talk about that. But when we get back, we are all of melanated magic in here, but we're going to talk black love or all love. Does black love matter or all love? Are you all open to dating outside of your race?
Wow.
So we will talk about that when we get back.
My white Nubian princesses.
Hey, we'll be back. All right. Dr. Dawn Radio Show. No judgment, just realness. Happy Friday, everybody. Thank you all for the comments. Zia Landry. I guess she's talking to you, Tracy. You know Zia?
That is my auntie.
All right, Auntie Landry, Auntie Zia. She says, "Oh, I didn't see the men, Tracy. This conversation is too much for me." Okay.
You might want to get off of here now.
Okay. So let's talk, and I want to start with you, Tracy, and work our way around. Black love or all love? Are you open to all love or black love?
You know, there was a time where I would have said nothing but black love, but you know, I've seen some amazing relationships that crossed all types of lines in respect to race. And so, you know, to me, all love. You can't dictate who you will fall in love with. Okay. And so I'm open.
Okay. Prince Harry got everybody. That royal wedding, girl. Megan, Demetrius says, beautiful love matters. I don't care if you're black, blue, orange, green, white, or Hispanic. Love is love, and it conquers all. If you don't connect for that person, and then don't get me wrong, I love my sisters, but I love a beautiful woman. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Demetrius. Mm-hmm. Shout out to my people. You, Carissa.
I say all love.
Okay.
All love. I'm open to everyone. You can't limit yourself.
No, okay. Right. Like a crayon. Just like the crayons. Of,
the big Crayola box.
Yeah,
just
big
open
Crayola
it up.
box. Cobb, you? Well, you're,
Shout out to my political connects.
Yeah.
Black love, but I've always been black love. There's just this is a set of unspoken rules that I don't like to explain, and that's the reason I deal with it.
Okay. You?
I'm team all love.
All love?
Yeah, I believe that. Okay, and I don't want to offend any of the women that's on the panel right now.
No judgment, just
come on.
Okay, so a woman is a woman regardless of color, and to me, let me preface it by saying that. So, because I've had I've dated some crazy black women, I've dated some crazy white women, crazy Latino women, and they all have the same thing in common: crazy. Okay. So it doesn't matter the skin color, and you not being able to relate to me and Tyrone and the black struggle. You're still crazy when it comes to other things. So I got it.
Facts.
So you're open to the Crayola box of love. Right?
Oh, of course. I've always.
Look, Dr. Don says, "Is he breathing?" Is he breathing, Lord?
Come on now.
Sometimes,
Hey, I see it like this. You may be missing the blessing because you put your idea in a box. And you should live without limits.
Well, can I ask a question right quick, Dr. Dawn?
Of course.
Because I brought this up in another place. I think that it's a double standard when it comes to that.
Why?
Black women will not judge a black woman for dating outside their race, but they would definitely harshly judge a black man for dating outside of his race.
I think it depends on the black woman.
Yeah.
I think it does.
I think it does depend on the woman. It depends on the experiences, the background. Also, I think, and I'm going to speak from personal experiences, when I see the black man downing black women and dating other women outside the race, that's the problem I have. Or when you're specifically looking for a certain race because black women are not good enough and black women aren't this and this woman is the trophy or whatever. When you down black women intentionally and you're dating other women because you think that's better, that's the problem I have. But if you just love all women, I don't have a problem with that.
Well, I'm going to use this. So Meghan Markle got pumped up for marrying Prince Harry. Yeah. Especially by the women who are dating the Duke of Trifling, the one that's on the couch and not working. But she got pumped up for marrying Prince Harry. Okay. But Childish Gambino can't talk about being woke or the black struggle because he has children by a woman that's not black, and everybody destroyed him for that. See what I'm saying? That's where I said that double standard comes in. How come he can't say what he wants to say? But over here, it's like, hey, she married a prince, and she's this, that, and the other. And it's all, black love now.
I think, and then, Black Panther got a lot of people finally, I don't know why it takes a movie.
Wakanda, baby.
But so my thing is, you can date outside your race, you can do what you want to do. But, so I just have to ask that question. But let me start with you, Sarge, and I'm going to work my way around. I got this topic from Cobb because he was raised by women, raised in a house of women. And do we find a man weak who shows emotion? We can do that. We want, we can judge a man and criticize a man. Oh, you're too soft.
Raised by women. You didn't tell him about your uncle, huh?
I mean,
Okay. So anyway,
I mean,
so the one misconception, the one thing that I say that a lot of people don't talk about, men are very emotional. We are probably more emotional than women. We just try to put on that persona that we're not. And so, yes, we are very emotional. You can say something about a man's outfit and it'll hurt his feelings.
For sure.
Yes, you can say
For
something
sure.
about his haircut, the way that cologne don't smell good, that color doesn't look good on you. And we go and we reevaluate our whole life, our whole closet, everything. And you give me one compliment of that color looks good on you, we're going to go out and buy 7 other different types of shirts with that exact same color so you can compliment us.
Carissa and Tracy, do you find a man weak who shows emotion?
You know, I'm going to say this. It depends on how.
Okay.
A man being able to express what he's thinking, what he's feeling. I love that. A guy that cries at the drop of a hat about all kinds of stuff, I'm going to begin to wonder what's going on.
Okay.
You know, now that I'm older and a little bit more aware, I understand that there has to be something behind the fact that this man is crying all the time. And I'm saying this from personal experience. Yes, I did go out with a guy that it just seemed like the wind would blow in the wrong direction for him and there would be tears.
Did you have to carry handkerchiefs?
I mean, I kind of felt like I needed to because I didn't understand, because there would be little things that would happen that would kind of set him off and he would just get weepy. And that was uncomfortable for me because he wouldn't talk about what was going on. And so for me, communication is a huge, huge deal.
Yeah.
I consider communication to be great foreplay. If you can't talk to me, nothing else happens. So if you can't explain to me why you're having the feelings that you're feeling that's causing you to cry, I mean, I get it. You know, if you're watching a movie, like, you know, if you're watching Good Times and James just died and you cry, I'm okay with you on that one.
Yeah.
But we're at lunch and something is not quite right and you start weeping, that makes me uncomfortable because I don't know what's going on with you.
Wow.
Good times is real black love.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Angela Denise says, I agree, men are emotional. Keith Henry says, men are not taught to control our emotions like women.
But I feel
You,
like if
Carissa?
a man lets you into his space where he's comfortable expressing those different emotions with you, that's some trust right there. So you should feel honored that this man is able to tell you, you know, this bothered me. I'm feeling sad. I'm feeling upset. Whatever the case may be, and don't look at that as weak. That's a strong man in a comfortable space.
Okay, Cobb, you?
I don't
like
think I don't think women are taught how to deal with male emotion at all, because it comes off as, if you find a guy and he says, yo, look, this is what you did, this is how this made me feel, and this is how you can fix it, 9 times out of 10 she gonna look at you crazy and like, no, I couldn't have done that. Like, I can't, like, it's no way I did that. That's your problem, you feeling like that. And this is what I've dealt with women across the board. Like, they're just shocked at the fact, like, oh man, he expresses emotions to me. Like, what am I supposed to do now? Like, am I supposed to give him a hug? You know what I mean? So like, women aren't taught that. We would. It's like, it's pretty much how we were raised. Like, women were playing with Barbies and Kens, and we was playing with Army men, and that's what it was. And we always dealt with Barbie's emotions. They never dealt with Ken's emotions.
No, because Ken didn't have
Ken didn't have it.
Yeah, but I think...
Nor a shirt.
Never a shirt. Keith Henry says, I like what she said, and I agree with him, too. Keith Henry, thank you for agreeing with everybody. But I have to say, I think, isn't it kind of... We're learning, I think, as we go.
Yeah.
And some don't learn until they get in a relationship how to treat a man, how to treat a woman. You know, you got a lot of people who are learning, who know how they were raised. They saw mama and daddy. Some people didn't come from a 2-parent household, or they grow up seeing a dysfunctional marriage. So I think some people are learning as they go along. Demetrius says, please ask the men, have they found it hard to date a woman who grew up in a household with a positive male figure? He said he does find it difficult. Wow. Do you all find it hard dating a woman who grew up in a household with a positive male figure?
Go ahead, millennial. I'll come after
That's
you.
a good question, Demetrius.
I wanna say yes.
Why? Why is it?
Because so at least in my 20s, the women expect you to be their fathers, but their father never told their daughters about their journey and about what a man looks like while he's going through his journey. So you date a woman and you 22. And
hold on. He said without. I was about to say, okay. He said without. Okay, well, go ahead. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, it's the same thing.
Sorry,
like even with that though, like you know, women expect, like, fathers don't never tell their daughters about, like, yo, your dad wasn't always an engineer. You know what I mean? And, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes, so when you like, oh yeah, I took. No father said their daughters like, yeah, I took your mama to the Hart's Chicken Buffet a couple times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's when
Or
we started.
Tweeties.
That's good. But guys, I think without and of course we have another brother who agrees, but that sister or that woman, millennial, that white, what did you call her?
White Nubian
White
queen.
Nubian
Queen.
queen.
Princess.
That
Not-
woman.
not a queen.
That woman.
That's the princess.
Oh, okay.
No, that's without a father figure.
Yeah.
I want to
But
hear
that
you explain this.
that woman who didn't grow up with that positive male father figure, she doesn't know how to treat a man.
Well, and
She
so
hasn't learned.
no,
Yeah.
she hasn't because let me say this.
Okay.
My late wife grew up in a household where there was no positive male figure. So she didn't know what love looked like. My wife did not realize what love looked like until we were maybe 7 years into the relationship. And I knew that because so she loved me, but there was a lot of resistance too, because the men who had come in and out of her life, being, you know, her ex-husband, ex-boyfriends, stepfathers, father, absentee father, every man had always turned their back on her. And so for me to be like, look, I'm standing here and you know I love you because you got 4 kids.
Yeah.
And I've taken them on as well as my own. And
Let's be clear.
so a lot of women, a lot of women who don't have that positive male role model in their house, or have seen them even from their uncles or whatever the case may be, they're resistant. Well, the ones I've dealt with are resistant to open up to you for a while, because they're like, you're just gonna do me like all the other men have in my life, is turn your back on me and walk away until you need something from me, and then you'll come back.
Carissa and Tracy, did you grow up with your fathers?
I did not. I actually did not meet my father until I was 29. And I did have my grandfather, and it was a great aspect to have him there, but not the fact that there was a secret around not knowing why my dad wasn't there. I grew up thinking he just ran away. And to find out at 28 years old that he was never told I was even conceived. It changed everything for me, but still I had spent 28 years thinking my father didn't love me enough to stay. So as a result, I stayed in relationships where people didn't love me enough to treat me well.
Right.
So I had that resistance where, oh, you say you staying, okay, whatever. That's why I pushed all of these guys away who actually were treating me with respect, not trying to quickly get me into bed, because you're not treating me like every other guy that I've dealt with who said they loved me, treated me, so I don't know how to receive what you're trying to do, which really, that actually was love. I didn't find that out till much later.
Yeah.
So it can be very difficult for a good man to get close to a woman who has dealt with all of that.
Yeah.
And we have to find ways to really help our young women learn that sooner. I was in my 30s before I figured that out.
Carissa, did you grow up with your father?
I grew up with my father, and it's funny that he mentioned, you know, men were not always in the position they were in, and that's what my dad taught me, because I'm like, Dad, you know, these men don't want to take care of their wives anymore, and he's like, Carissa, they want to, but women's expectations are so high now that a lot of men, they're not in a financial position to do all of that.
Well, sometimes it's not high; it's unrealistic.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
Sometimes you're now. We're going to talk about again. This is one of the extra things if we had time. But what you're bringing to the table, what you want, make sure you're bringing it to the table.
Exactly.
However, let's be realistic. When you meet that man and he's a teacher and you're an engineer at NASA, you know, come on, y'all.
Right.
Yeah, you
Exactly.
can't. Yeah.
I was gonna say something too, Dr. Don. With sometimes having a positive male role model in your life, the men don't know how to. Some daddies don't know how to let go. That's my baby girl.
Yeah.
Don't you do this, that, and other. I'm like,
Right.
Pops, you do realize that I can bench press over 300 pounds, right?
But as
And I
a
will put these
grown
hands
woman,
on you.
but as a grown woman, but as a grown woman too, we have to say, Daddy, you need to stop.
Some women don't, because that's my daddy.
But Demetrius, I will tell you, I hope you listen to what Big Sarge says. I'm glad he said this. He said it's not their fault. I don't blame them. But when you are with someone who did not see healthy love growing up, you're going to have to be patient.
Yeah.
You're going to have to be patient. So Demetrius, if you love her, you're going, and women on the other side of that, some men did not have their fathers growing up.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, if there's not abuse and things going on, you're just going to have to, if you love, you're going to have to work it out. And how many times do we say on this show, go to counseling, relationship counseling?
That's
7 years.
Yeah.
And you know, come on, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I just have to say that Angela Denini said there's so many walls up from our past. Some of the walls we do not even realize until we are in a relationship. Cobb, you? In a relationship, what did you realize that maybe you had some walls up? What have you learned?
I actually realized that I should actually care about things. Like I'm a go with the flow person.
Yeah, you seem like that. Yeah.
I'm a go with the flow person, and I deal with only reality. So, for me, dealing with my significant other and her perception of things and dealing with that was very difficult. Like, because I'm like, let's use logic. Like you have perception, but let's use logic.
Yeah.
And then for her, it was kind of one of those things where, she was also young and going through and finding herself. So that's something that I had to deal with and with myself, and just like you can't, like, some things you actually have to care about because other people care about.
And we're selfish. Men are selfish.
Oh.
We have to learn to open up to other people. I was before I got married.
But
I was
men have to be selfish.
Yeah.
You have to be selfish because you're trying to build yourself up to provide for a family. So you can't, in order to do that, you can't let side things get the best of you. Like you can't, dealing with crazy women. You can't fall victim to a crazy woman and all of that stuff.
Well, we make them crazy too sometimes. I ain't trying to. Listen, I'm not trying to cake on here because I'm single, Cobb, and maybe some women are looking, hey, what's going on, Big Sarge? And but
do your thing.
I just like to tell people the truth, and I was at a point in my life where I did not tell the truth a lot, because when you're dating multiple women, you have to be multiple personalities. So over here I got to be a thug. Over here I got to be intellectual. Over here, in the colony with the colonizers, I have to another way.
Well, you had to like hummus.
Yeah, I need to. Right.
Hummus or corn, or what is it?
Cumin, which I thought was
another
word.
Cumin. I like it too. Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I'm saying.
But no, I tell you, I'm gonna have to do a part 2. I am, because I think relationships are always important. People are saying, yes, sir, great panel. I totally agree. That's real talk. But, we have to go to Dr. Dawn's Q&A. God knows Rachel from Louisiana needs an answer to her question. But before we go into that, I want you to give us all of your contact information. Tracy, start with you.
Okay, well, you can find me on social media at I am Tracy L. James, and that is the special Tracy, spelled Tracie.
Okay.
And my website is tracyeljames.com.
Okay. You, Carissa, She Flies Solo?
Yes, you can find me at She Flies Solo on all social media channels. That's She, F-L-I-E-S, Solo, SheFliesSolo.com.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe soon She Flies as a couple. You don't know that.
Yeah, you don't know.
Yeah, you come.
My name is Cobb Alexander. You can catch me every Tuesday at 7 to 9 on 90.1 KPFT, From My Ox to Yours. _Cobster on Twitter and Cobb.Alexander on Instagram.
Yes, and Big Sarge.
I am Big Sarge Sports on Instagram, Big Sarge Sports on Twitter, and I am Brian Bearfield, actually, on Facebook. My Facebook page is public, but if you come there talking that trash, I will publicly, sarcastically talk back.
And be publicly petty.
Exactly.
Yes, Dr. Dawn Q&A, thedrdon@gmail.com. You can email me your question. Today is Rachel from Louisiana. She says, Dr. Dawn, I am friends with a married man. He is a co-worker, but he has shared with me he's having marriage problems. And it went from coffee and lunch to him asking me to hang out after work and for dinner. He's my friend, but I don't feel comfortable because he is now attracted to me. He is married. How do I deal with it, Dr. Dawn? Quickly, Big Sergeant. I mean, quickly.
Tell him
10 seconds.
Just tell him no. At all. Period. Look, you're married. You're in a committed relationship, and you need to, whatever you find in me, tell your wife that's what you like.
Cobb, you?
Yeah. I mean, I totally agree with that. Just but I also feel like maybe she giving off the wrong vibes too.
Work wives.
Come on. You, Carissa?
I agree. Keep it moving.
You, Tracy?
You have to be very careful about the emotional affair, because that's exactly what it sounds like it is, an emotional affair.
Yeah.
And you have to cut it off.
And affairs don't start in a bedroom.
They do not.
We have to, but there's nothing wrong with married people being friends with single people, but You have to be very careful, single people, when you are friends with someone who is married. You have to have boundaries. It seems like you do have boundaries, which is good, but Dr. Don says it seems like he wants to cross those boundaries. Now, you and him are friends, but spending that much time with someone when they are having problems in their marriage, it's natural he's going to be attracted to you.
That's true. You're safe.
Yeah, you're safe. You're there, and that emotional connection. They should not be sharing those emotional issues, those things with you. That emotional attachment is unhealthy. It's not good for you. It's not good for him. It's not what you say, but how you say it. You need to communicate with him. You're not going to be with him. This is uncomfortable for you because he is married. And either he'll respect the boundaries or he won't. And if he won't, you need to make a decision. Go get coffee by yourself. But you can't do it. Dodge him at the cubicle in the, he'll be all right. But we have to be very careful. Single people, you have to have those boundaries when you are friends with married people, especially of the opposite sex. You got to respect the relationship, people, and you can't put yourself in a position where you are attaching yourself to someone who is attached. Some single people can fall into an affair and not even realize it, but that's
so true.
You have to have those boundaries. My Dr. Don Daily Dose, I want to thank all these people. Tracy James.
Hi.
Unleash your greatness. Yes. She'll ball her fist and she means it. Carissa, Cobb Alexander, and Big Sarge. Catch him today from 2 to 4 for his petty party.
Yes. Petty partners in crime.
Yes, but Dr. Don always has to say, this is my daily dose to you today. Love is a beautiful thing. It is not complicated, but we make it complicated. Unnecessarily, we overthink things, have unrealistic expectations. We're wanting perfection, living with the pain of the past, bringing it into the present relationship, and other things. But I want to encourage you, and I have to tell you, people, if you need support in the relationship department, reputable support is what you need to be seeking, because you have to be in a place where you are mentally, spiritually, and emotionally whole. Because it is then that you really will experience love to the highest and healthiest degree, because it's what you deserve. It's what you deserve. It's time to get over the past. It's time to stop with that unrealistic list. I want him to look like Idris Elba and all this kind of foolishness.
Well.
Come on, y'all.
Yeah.
Now look, yeah. But make sure, I'm nothing wrong with that. But be realistic. Come on, y'all.
That's it.
We have to do a part 2. It will be coming. Dr. Don always brings it to you, but I want you to have a good weekend. Have a good love weekend. I don't know. It's Memorial Day weekend. Be careful, y'all. Drinks are flowing and parties are happening. Be careful. Be careful.
Slide in my DMs.
Yeah, be careful, y'all. Yeah. Thank you to Big Sarge. Thank you to Cobb Alexander. Thank you to Carissa. And thank you to Tracy L. James. Happy Friday, y'all. God bless. Have a good weekend. Love you all. I tell you. Dawn Paul, aka the Dr. Dawn, is a certified life coach, and she is not a licensed medical professional. Should you need counseling, seek the advice of a certified professional.